Hi everybody, my name is Sherry. Welcome to my stamp studio. So I'm continuing on in my series of Saleabration Showcase. I just finished a couple of hours ago filming the last project for my Try It class. So I just have to get that uploaded to YouTube and that class is done. And then it's not long until the next Try It class. So I do a lot of online classes. If this is the first time you're on my site, down below the video, if you're on YouTube, you can find the link and you can get over to my website. You can sign up for my email where you can always get the host code. I give thank you gifts for all the orders that people place with me. So if you've not been here before, welcome. I've done a few Saleabration cards now, and when I get to the end of it, then I will just do a video that shows you all of them in case you miss any of them. But today I am focusing on the Sunny Days paper. So to be honest with you, when I first saw this paper, it didn't grab my attention. And I realize now looking at it, it's because it's kind of on this Calypso coral kind of page, and it kind of mutes it. The paper's a whole lot prettier in real life, which happens a lot. It always happens. I'm always glad when you guys do my card club or my classes or something, because you're making it and you can see how pretty it is. The camera just doesn't do all of the things justice. But this paper in particular, I think is a lot prettier. It's a lot brighter, I think, and that's what I like about it in real life. So it's free with a $50 purchase in January through February or while supplies last. So we'll take a look at it. It's got a lot of pool party. It has this rainbow, and I'm pretty sure this came maybe from the postage dies, but it's just sitting on my table because I have to put whatever the big things are back. But look how cute these little rainbows would be. So if I have time, I may do another card and use the rainbow side of the paper. So we have the rainbows and the greens. Lots of sheets in here would be good for spring, Mother's Day, St. Patrick's Day, Easter. And then we have some sunshine. And then the beautiful sides of the paper. Look how pretty that is. It's just a lot. The colors are just a lot more vibrant than what they look like in that tiny little picture in the corner of the catalog. Then this one coordinates with the rainy day. I don't remember the name of it. I don't have that bundle, but it does go with that. And then I love this piece. That would be so much fun for St. Patrick's Day. And then we have the tiny little cherries. Cherries are always good on cards. And then the two pieces I'm using on today's card, we have this one, and on the other side are the poppies, which is, again, good for Remember This Day or one of those. And then I'm going to use the strawberries, which is my favorite piece, I think, of the paper. I really like this one, and I've yet to use it. I guess in Try It class I did. I think maybe I flipped it so we could see that side. So let's make our card. I've been wanting to use ever since it came. And the bad thing about the January mini catalog is that we get the stuff right before Christmas. So then we're busy with Christmas, and then it's Celebration. And I have the Try It class is my most fun class, but it's by far the most amount of work. So designing, cutting, packing, collating, labels, and then the filming of all the projects, the editing, the uploading, the making the PDF. It's a lot of work. So I get this stuff. I want to show you Celebration because it'll be gone sooner, but this one has just been, I've been dying to use it. So it is called Hooray for Surprises. I don't recall seeing it on anybody's order that's come through so far. I don't look at everyone, but sometimes like, wonder what they got. But it's an interactive set. So you can see it has the one that says pull. It has the one that says open here. There is a zipper die, which I'm not using on today's card, but I am going to do the pull. So there's two different dies that pull up. The stamp sets are cute. This is on page 13, if you've not really given it a look in the January catalog. Here's the stamp set. So it's nice big words. I'm using the Hooray, can't wait to see you, because I like when we have sentiments that are different. And how much fun would that be to send to somebody who you're going to see soon? It's got some great birthday sentiments as well. And if you were in Try It class, then you got, I've used them a couple of times, not in their interactive way. So in Try It class, we did use, you can see that it had Poppy, but this is fun. It makes polka dots in your heart. I'm not using that on today's. And then if you were in my VIP, when you purchase from me, the next month you get some VIP projects. All the information's on my website. But this month we used these and maybe the heart. I can't remember if we put them. Maybe we did put them on the heart. I don't remember. I've slept a lot since then. But then you can see that this one right here makes two sizes of pull-ups. And if you look closely at them, they have little notches. And I'm going to show you on this one what the notches are for. And then here is one if you want to do a zipper pull, and it will open your whole front of your card up. Now, the thing is, when you create these cards, there's not really a way to put them back, except when we get to the end and I pull mine, because it won't look the original way anymore. But I think that you could include a dimensional and they could easily fix it. So those are the dies, except for the ones that we're using on this particular project. So here's the one that does the pull. So it has these little notches in it. I'm going to run this one through just so you can see what it does before we create the card. So it's just one quick pass. Don't go back and forth by any stretch of the imagination, because you don't want it to bust through, right? Because if it busts through, then they can't pull it up. And you can see sets like this, when you get it, I just take all the scrap paper of things that I've messed up on, and I just kind of run them through to see what it is exactly that we're working with. So when you take this, again, you don't want to knock this out, and you can see it stays attached. And then on mine, I have made my tab a little bit longer, so it will say pull. And so when they pull up, they'll pull on it like this, and it will reveal the message underneath. So it's super fun. Now, one thing you saw that was a little bit of a tug for this one, not hard, but I'm using, on the card we're gonna make now, I'm gonna use the Designer Series paper because I want to show you this Saleabration paper. It comes up much easier, but it will also break much easier, so you have to be a little bit careful when you're doing it. So let's put this together. So I have already cut out with the dies just the plain circle. So this is the plain one. And if you want to add polka dots to it, then you just lay this one in and roll it through at the same time. So if you got that in Try It Club, that's how I did it. Try It class. I would like to use this one for a card club, but unfortunately I can't roll all of this stuff because it would take forever. We like things that can roll 2 or 3 things at a time. So I ran this piece of Designer Series paper through this. And then I have the leaf out of Shaded Spruce and the flower, and these are all out of that set. Now, not in this set, I am going to use the scalloped rectangle, and if you look down below the video, I'll tell you where I got it. You just need something that's going to go on top of your other thing. So I have this cut 4 by 5 1/4, and then I'm going to run this through with this. So let me do that. So I've cut my scalloped rectangle out. It also has a little bit of stitching on it. It's a really pretty, this one comes with a bunch of sizes. Because when you go to put this on, it needs to be on something. So either you need to cut a square, punch a circle, die cut something for this to go on, because this particular set doesn't come with a shape for it to go on. And it can't go, you'll see in a second, it can't go directly on the card because you need to be able to put your message underneath. So I'm gonna run this through, and again, just do it once, because if you go back and forth, especially on the Designer Series paper, it will break your perforations. So here's this, and then you can see it just holds in there. So it'll be really easy for the recipient to just pull up on it. We'll pull up on mine at the end. We have this. Now the main trick for this is getting, this needs to go here. This will pull up and your saying will be underneath. But you need to know where the heart's going to be, right? You need to know, so you're saying isn't over here, or just so they can't read it all. And you won't know because you don't see the card until after it's torn, and you can't tear the card. So you need to have a foolproof way of getting your sentiment on there straight. So fortunately, for this one, you can always use a grid. You can use grid paper, you can use glass mat if you have it, or you can pick a Designer Series paper that has a grid on it. So what I'm going to do, I cut this little one. This is just out of scrap, and it happened to be a piece that I have punched on. There's a tiny bit of seal here and a tiny bit of seal here. So what I did, to make it a little bit easier, is I just lined this up and barely push. So it sticks to that, then push this here. And for this one, you don't have to have the grid, although the grid will help us in a second. Now I'm gonna push that down. So once you have this on here, now what you need to do is I need to know that my 2 corners go right in these little spots. So I'm just gonna take a pencil. Where did I put it? And I like to use the white watercolor pencil because you can't really see it. So it needs to go right here. And it's pretty much straight on this line. I did that on purpose so I would know to put it straight there, but this is going to kind of tell me where to put it in the corners. So now we know where to put this back. I'll do one here because it's going to be hard for you guys to see it, but this is my center. In fact, you could do it pretty dark on here because it's going to be hard for me to see it, but it's good enough. So we are 1 over on both of them, and then in the middle across this line right here. So if you want, you can take whatever grid you're using, just add a little bit of adhesive. Because sometimes we like a template, right? You might be making more than one of these, and instead of having to do it every time, you could just use this as opposed to your paper. So if you want to do that, then you can take any of the blends, and I want to put my stuff right here. So when I put it back, that's where I'm going to put it. The first time I didn't do it this way, I just did it by what's on the paper. So it's 2 different options to figure out where to put this back. So now we need to take this piece off. Be very careful. It'd be a little bit easier to do if you weren't using designer series paper. So we have that. Now this is going to tell us where we want to put our saying. So I told you I was going to go for the Hooray, can't wait to see you. And I am using Poppy Parade ink. You could use black. And it just goes right here in the center. And now because we have this little template, it helps us know exactly that that's going to be right where it is when they pull up on their design. Then I have the little word pull, and I just have some white scrap paper. I didn't lay that in a very good spot. And I'm just going to put it here. And then we'll be able to make a little bit of a bigger pull tab, because I'm not 100% certain that everybody that's going to get this card is going to know that that little tab means pull. So that's why they gave you the option to add some instructions onto your card. Now this has to come out. I'm trying not to move this. I didn't put a whole lot of adhesive on here. And then you need to put your adhesive not on the heart. So we'll put some down there. Get all those pieces that I don't need. I'm sure there's other ways. I'm sure you could figure out a way to inset a heart, which would not be hard to do. That was the way I was going to do it first. So we're going to go up. Here's my little white thing right there. If you're going to use the grid, put a little bit more adhesive so it doesn't move. So there's the base of our card. And then you can just take your chamois. Mine is hard as a rock, and everything just wipes off. With this, you just need a little bit of alcohol wipe, or just a little spritz of alcohol. The chamois gets this right off. My dried up wet wipe does not, but I don't want it to stick to everything right here. So let's go ahead and put the rest of the card part together. So we have our little pull. My scissors are here. And most of it's going to be hidden. All you're going to see is the word pull. So put your adhesive on this other part. And then gently, there's a place in here where you can kind of lift this up where there's no perforations, and put it right there. And then I'm going to put the color on this is Poppy. This is Strawberry Sorbet. I think it kind of makes the poppy pop. So I'm going to use Sorbet for my card base. And then to tie that together, I'm going to use Sweet Sorbet ribbon, which is part of the Be Mine Valentine Suite. But it looks fun with this. And it gives it a little bit more white, because I thought about putting a white base on. There's not a whole lot white on the card. Originally, the flower was not white, but sometimes you need it to pop a little bit. And I knew this paper color combination, for my taste, because of the way it looked in the catalog to me, needed some white. So this ribbon also offers a little bit of white. So just tie a little ribbon. I know you're all dying to see me pull up on my card, aren't you? So let's do our little bow this direction. I'm going to flip this over. And just position this so it's straight. And we're going to put it on here. This one is one time where you may use a little bit more adhesive than you might normally, because when they pull up on the card, on the heart, you don't want them to pull up the background of your card up. So put that on there and make sure everything's nice and pressed. Now here's a tip for you. The first time I did this, I put my seal on here and it busted one of the perforations. It didn't bust them all, but one, because I stopped when I realized what I was doing. So to fix that, we're just going to put our adhesive on this. And then we'll add this here. And then put a little bit of adhesive in the middle. I should have cut that straight on the plaid. I wasn't paying attention. Our flowers and our leaves. Whoops. And press everything down nice and good. Then there were several embellishments that looked good with this. I ended up going, the ones that are Saleabration ones would go because they have the peach color. I think it's coral, in the Calypso coral in those. These are from the Light as Air. They're the rainbow adhesive back dots. They're in the January catalog. And I don't think that I've used them on a video like this. I think it's only been in classes. So I'm just going to use these peach colors and I'm going to put 5. Let's put a big one there in the middle. You can poke all of those holes out if you want, or you can leave them. And then I'm just going to do 4 random ones. So that's 1, 2, 3, and 4. So there's our finished card. Just like this. Here's my other one. So which one do you want me to pull? I've done a couple of them. These are the 2 that I haven't finished all the way to completion. So you just put them in, then whoever gets it will just pull. So it just snaps from those perforations, and you can see how easy it was. And when you use designer series paper, then it's pretty on the back as well. So obviously they can put it back. They could put it back and just tape it back in. The other option is you could take any of the many things of packaging that we get and just cut 1 or 2 dimensionals, stick them in there, and then just put a little note when you want to put your heart back or something, so they know that they can just put the dimensionals and then add it back up on there. But those they literally just pull up. I feel like I want to do my other one too because they're kind of fun to do. Let's do this one and we'll see if this heart's in the right spot. Yep, perfect. So all you really need is to think through the template of getting your design behind there. You could also put pictures. Like this would be kind of fun if it didn't take forever for my daughter's wedding thank yous, because you could have a wedding picture back there. So they snug back in, but they don't stay. That's why I think if you just gave them, you could even give them a little glue dot and a piece of Glad wrap or something inside the card so they could put it back in. For my photography purposes, though, that's what I just needed to make sure that when I photographed it, I could get it back in there. So there you go. I will try to use the zipper pull here in the next few days. Next week, stay tuned. I will have my February card club preview. And we'll try to finish off the last couple of things in the Saleabration that I'm going to use. I'm not going to get to all of it. So if there's something in Saleabration that I have not yet used and you want to see it, feel free to comment in the comments below. Have a great weekend. Bye.